ultimate goal for a Toy Story fan. I need to ride that ride. Hi Disney Dreamers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lenise and this is LZ Enchanted. Yes, it is still 186 days away from my trip. It's the same day as the last video that I posted. I just changed my outfit. Not that I mind wearing the same outfit in my videos, as you've clearly seen in my other videos that I did with Jasmine, but I wanted to change the look a little for this video. Let me know what you think. I have a cute little sparkly pink sweater that I got for $4.50 at Target, and I paired it with these Minnie Mouse ears that are Little Mermaid themed. I love these. I love these ears. These are my new favorite ears. I was a little thrown off by the color. I thought they would be more rose gold. They're more like a white iridescent kind of color. So it's kind of like that silver tone, but it's still gorgeous. And I will link down the designer below. I love all her ears. I just can't afford to get all of them because she's based off in England. So shipping is crazy. But I'm going to give you a quick close-up just so you can see how gorgeous it is. Look at those iridescent sparkles. So it's kind of like her fin on this side and her clamshell on this side with the pearl details. Oh my god. And that pink glittery bow in the middle with the little dingle hopper. It's so cute! So in this video, I thought it'd be really fun to do the Would I Rather tag. Disney Attractions Edition. I did this video once before, but I was not feeling it. Not that I, didn't like the tag. I was just like, probably in a bad mood or something. I was dressed like a hobo, as I sometimes am in my videos, but I'm really excited to do it this time around. And I forget who created this tag. I will definitely try to do my research. Whoever it is, I'm going to link it down below. Now, they did, I believe, 14 questions of, like, would you rather go on this attraction or this attraction? So it's, like, kind of pinning two rides or attractions together in Disney World. But I kind of tweaked it a little bit. It made it more, I don't know, I made it different. I made it more personalized. Keep in mind, I have not been to Disney World as many times as you guys have, or that I should have been, because I have not been on, like, 90% of these rides. I changed a lot of the questions. I even added a lot more. I think I doubled the amount of questions. So it's like the same tag, or it's based off of that tag, but it's different in a way. So let's just stop talking, Lenise. Talk. Let's just get started. I got it all typed up here because I'm a professional. Okay, so first off the list is, would I rather go to the Festival of Lion King or Finding Nemo the musical? So these are musical Broadway-esque shows that you can find, both of them in Animal Kingdom actually, and Festival of Lion King is in the Africa section, and Finding Nemo the musical is, I believe, in the Asia section, which doesn't make sense to me. Is Finding Nemo in Asia? I know they go to Australia in there, but I don't know. But whatever. I personally definitely want to experience both of them, as I've never experienced either of them before. But if I had to pin one against the other, I would choose Festival of the Lion King. I'm a huge Lion King fan, and I love circus shows. I think Festival of the Lion King's not a Broadway show, actually. It's more of like a circus acrobatic show. So I love that kind of stuff. And I've never seen The Lion King on Broadway, and it's always been a goal of mine. So I feel like this won't replace it, but it'll kind of be like a step in the right direction. Plus, I think there is music in the show, so The Lion King is more of a musical as far as the movie goes. Finding Nemo isn't, so I don't see it being a musical. I heard good things about it, and I would love to see it, but I'm more of a Lion King fan, so I would lean more toward Festival of the Lion King. Second one up is Expedition Everest or Rock and Roller Coaster. So these are two thrill roller coasters. Expedition Everest you can find in Animal Kingdom in the Asia section, and Rock and Roller Coaster you can find in Hollywood Studios. Of Everest because it looks so much fun. I've never been on a roller coaster that goes backwards, and the heights look incredible, the drops look amazing, the views from the top look spectacular. It's Yeti themed, which is really cool and different. It goes in the dark. It's all just really great, and the queue looks really fun. I still would love to go on Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm a decent Aerosmith fan. They have a lot of good songs, so it's like an Aerosmith-themed roller coaster. And from what I've heard, the story is that you've been invited or you have tickets to an Aerosmith concert, but you're running late, Or maybe Aerosmith is running late to their concert, so you all get like a giant limo together, so like the roller coaster is like a giant limo. It's the only roller coaster on Disney property, or at least a Disney World property, that has a loop. Which I think is kind of crazy that none of the other roller coasters have loops. I know it's more geared towards children, so I guess the less loops the better. So this is the only one that has a loop, and I think it's just like one loop. So I hear it goes really fast, and it's really fun. I'd love to go on that one, but I would much rather go on Everest if I had a choice. Let's speed this up a little, shall we? I feel like I'm dragging this out. Alright, let's get going. The next rides are Mission Space, Soarin' Around the World, or Flight of Passage. Okay, so I pinned these all together because they were simulator rides, I feel. So Mission Space feels like you're launching into space. You know, you're in a rocket ship and you're about to land on Mars. And based on how many people you have, you each have different roles. So one could be a pilot, the other could be a commander, the other one is an engineer, and there's another role, I forget. But you're all, you know, trying to land on Mars safely. That seems like really fun. And there are two levels. One is green, which is supposed to be less intense, and the other is orange. And I've heard that a couple of people died on the orange level. I'm assuming they were really prone to like motion sickness or had epilepsies or something. I didn't read into it because I didn't want to, you know, scare myself off from ever trying orange level. But I hear that ride is pretty intense. Next up is Soarin' Around the World. I have done Soarin' Around California once when I was 12, and I still remember it to this day. It was absolutely amazing. I hear Soarin' Around the World is even better because you're soaring around more places. The scents are better than ever. So it literally feels like you're flying around the world. And lastly, Flight of Passage. The most popular ride in Walt Disney World currently. And the one that everyone goes to Disney World for. At least most people go to Disney World for this ride. This is a hot ticket item. It opened the summer of 2017. I was there. I was in Walt Disney World 2017. My best friend Jasmine and I stayed off-site at a hotel, and our room keys were Pandora themed. Like, that hotel had nothing really to do with Walt Disney World. It was off-site, and it wasn't like a Disney-themed hotel, but our room keys were Pandora themed. Insane. But yeah, I looked at it and I didn't know what it was. Had I known, I probably would have pushed for us to go to Pandora, but I mean, it basically is a simulator ride where it feels like you're riding on the back of a banshee, those creatures in the Avatar movie. And from what I hear, and just like Soarin' Around the World, I haven't, you know, watched any clips from vlogs. I mean, I'll see them like standing in queue and I'll see them about to go in the ride, but some people actually film the ride and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you insane? Like, save some mystery for everyone else. Every time I think they're about to film the actual ride or talk about it, I fast forward it because I just don't want to hear it. I really want to keep it a surprise. But from what I gather, it feels like you're riding on the back of a banshee, and I've accidentally heard you can, like, sometimes hear it breathing. You're flying through the air, so I don't know. I think you might hit a cloud or something, and it's just amazing. So it's kind of like Soarin', but on a banshee. This ride has wait times of hours and hours and hours if you don't have a fast pass or if you get there late. So obviously, Flight of Passage is the one that I would choose out of all three if I could. But the second one, a very close second, would be Soarin' Around the World because of the nostalgia, I gotta say. I'm not getting better at condensing this video, am I? You might as well get comfortable. It's gonna be like a 30-minute video. Next one up is Peter Pan's Flight versus Pirates of the Caribbean. So these are dark classic rides. They've both been at Walt Disney World for years and years. I think Peter Pan's Flight's been there since the beginning, like day one, and I think Pirates of the Caribbean was there either day one or, you know, a little later, but still has been there relatively since the beginning. I've been on both, and I gotta say I prefer Pirates of the Caribbean better because I feel like, I don't know, it just tells a better story in my opinion. It's longer because of the amount of space that they have to utilize. Peter Pan's Flight, for me, was just way too short. I felt like I didn't get to see Peter Pan enough, although we probably did. It's just I wanted more of Peter Pan. I personally didn't care too much for the animatronics. I don't know. So many people love Peter Pan's Flight, but for me, I just didn't get why people waited so long for this ride, and you only get like 3 minutes, and it just didn't feel worth it. I don't know. Pirates of the Caribbean was more fun. Maybe I just prefer it because I love Jack Sparrow so much. And it was funny. But yeah, I prefer Pirates of the Caribbean. Next up is Space Mountain versus Big Thunder Mountain. So these are the dry mountain rides in Magic Kingdom. I'm sure you're wondering why I didn't put Splash Mountain in here. Don't worry, it's pinned to another attraction later on in the video. But as far as Space Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain goes, Space Mountain all the way. I've been on Space Mountain once when I was 12. It was literally my favorite ride of the entire trip. And then I went with my best friend again in 2017, and it was even better than I expected because I was an adult, so I can appreciate it more. It's so much fun. It's basically a roller coaster in the dark, with the exception of a couple of times where, you know, you are hit with light. I don't really remember the red part and the blinking lights part. I think because I was like closing my eyes, but yeah, Space Mountain is so much fun. It's fast. It's incredible. Next on the list is Astro Orbiter, Dumbo, or Magic Carpets of Aladdin. So these are all literally the same ride as far as the mechanics go. They're all spinning rides. They all literally work the same. You click this little switch on the ride, you know, on the car that you're in, and you either go up or down. So all three are the same, including the spinning Triceratops ride in Dinoland and Animal Kingdom. It's the same thing, but I didn't include it in this, although it's the same ride, because I don't think anyone really goes on it unless you have like a child. I think people who go, like me, like who don't have children, you're just going as adults, I don't think people make it a priority or even like spend time going on this ride because why, you know? Honestly, if I had to choose out of all three, I would choose Dumbo. Simply put, because that Dumbo ride for me is like quintessential to what you think of when you think of Walt Disney World. At least it's one of them. But especially like in Fantasyland and in Magic Kingdom, you think of Dumbo. You think of, yes, Cinderella's Castle, you think of Peter Pan's Flight, but you also think of Dumbo, at least I'd like to believe that. Some people feel the same about Astro Orbiter. I've never been on Astro Orbiter. I've never even been on Dumbo, at least not as an adult. I've been on the Magic Carpet ride with Jasmine. It was so much fun, and I loved seeing the Enchanted Tiki Room and, you know, that view when you're spinning around, but I would rather go on the Dumbo ride because I feel like once I sit in the elephant car, like I'll feel like I'm at Walt Disney World and it will feel a lot more magical. Next up is Tomorrowland Speedway or Test Track. Test Track, you get to design your own car. You get to pick the speed, the power. You get to choose the shape of the car, the color, the tire shapes, things like that. And then your car is put to the test and you ride it a little bit inside and then the doors open up and you're suddenly outside going 60 miles an hour in a loop, and it just looks amazing. It looks so much fun. I don't know if I've ever went on this as a child. I don't remember much of Epcot. The only thing I remember in Epcot was soaring around California, but as an adult, I'm going to have a blast, an absolute blast. And I'm sure Tomorrowland Speedway is fun too. It just looks like, you know, things that I've already been on as far as like race car driving goes. So I would much rather go on Test Track. Next up is Carousel of Progress or Spaceship Earth. These are dark rides with, and you know, like similar animatronics. I even think they like borrow animatronics from, you know, in between the rides. To be completely honest, I didn't even know Spaceship Earth was a ride. I thought it was literally just the landmark of Epcot. I didn't know there was an actual attraction inside of it. I found that out last year, like late last year, like a couple of months ago, and my mind was... I have also tried to keep this a secret, you know, to me, like a surprise, so I don't really know much about it. I know it's space themed, and you also get to see, like, what life would be like in the future or something like that. I don't know. I've seen Carousel of Progress before in vlogs, and that attraction looks really cute. It looks fun. I believe it was the attraction that Walt Disney presented to the World's Fair, and it was loved so much that it actually became an attraction at Walt Disney World. You follow a family, an ageless family, you know, animatronics, throughout the decades, or at least 4 periods of time. So you see them, I don't know what the first year is, or what the first time period is, but it's like, I don't know, maybe the 50s or 60s or something like that. And then I think it's like the 70s, or maybe the 80s, 90s, something like that. And then the last one is kind of like a more present time, but it's a little bit more into the future. I think that's really cool to see the progression of technology. It's a really cool concept, which is great because Walt was one of those people who loved the past. He loved like the colonial times, the time where he grew up. He was born in 1901, so he loved that time of history, but he also really loved and appreciated the future. So I feel like his love for that is poured into that attraction. So I would feel like more tethered to him if I rode that ride, as like dumb as that might sound. I don't know, I love him so much, so I would love to ride a ride that he came up with himself, you know, so that would have a little bit more of a tethered connection to him, which means that it would be more special to me, you know, over Spaceship Earth. So I would rather ride Carousel of Progress. Next up is the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh versus Mad Tea Party. I haven't been on the teacups. Maybe as a child I did, or like when I was 12, but not as an adult. It looks really fun. I feel like I would get dizzy, and I've been on Winnie the Pooh, and I actually really liked it. I liked it a lot better than Peter Pan's flight. So I'm gonna go ahead with the Winnie the Pooh ride. I love the Tigger part. I love when Pooh is in his like dream sequence. Like, I don't know, it's such a whimsical, fun ride. I would really love to go on the teacups as well, but I gotta side with Pooh on this one. Alright, so here is Splash Mountain. Remember, I didn't pin it with the other two mountain rides. Usually all three of them are kind of like the sister rides of Magic Kingdom, but this time, Splash Mountain is being pinned against Kali River Rapids. So these are essentially two of the water rides in the parks. Splash Mountain, like I said, is in Magic Kingdom, and Kali River Rapids is found in Animal Kingdom. I personally would go on Splash Mountain because I've been on a very, very, very similar ride like Kali River Rapids in Six Flags. Just last year for my birthday, it was August 2018, I went with my best friend, and I don't remember what the ride is called, but it was literally the same thing. We were in a circular vehicle with like 8 of us, and you know, you would turn, you would go like down a, you know, rocky river or whatever it was. Some of you would get splashed, some of you were spared, but then there was like a big drop, and it would still turn, and you didn't know who was gonna get wet, but it ended up being me and Jasmine. Don't get me wrong, it was a hot August day, but I didn't want to take a shower. I feel like rides like that would be fun at a water park, even maybe if it's hot. If I'm at a dry park, I don't want to have to bring a change of clothes because I got wet. I don't want to have to wear a poncho. So I feel like Kali River Rapids would literally like torrential downpour on me, whereas Splash Mountain, I might get little, you know, drops of water. I could be wrong. I think Splash Mountain could definitely soak you, but I feel like it would soak me less than Kali River. I literally could be wrong. I'm gonna bring a poncho. I'm gonna bring a poncho to at least Splash Mountain. I don't even really want to ride Kali River. I'm gonna try to avoid it at all costs. Next up is Beauty and the Beast live on stage versus The Voyage of the Little Mermaid. So these are Broadway musicals that you can find in Hollywood Studios, the land of music, movies, and TV. So I personally would, it's so difficult because Beauty and the Beast is my ultimate favorite Disney movie. But The Little Mermaid, Ariel, she's my favorite princess, and it's my second favorite Disney movie. I've seen an actual Beauty and the Beast play when I was a little girl. I don't remember much of it, but I know Toni Braxton was Belle, which is crazy. I just found that out a couple months ago. Rambling. I don't know. I've seen clips of Beauty and the Beast live on stage. I definitely haven't watched it fully on the vlogs because I'm still trying to keep it as a surprise. As if I don't know what happens. You know what I mean, though. I don't really want to watch it unless I'm watching it in person. But I've seen what Lumiere looks like. He looks weird. I'm sorry. He looks way too fat, way too big for a candelabra. He just looks weird to me. And honestly, like, that is really off-putting for me for the entire show. I know that might sound weird and petty, but, like, I have this just, like, way of thinking. I want everything to look the way it should, and Lumiere just looks way off, so that really puts me off of the show. And I haven't seen anything about Voyage of the Little Mermaid. I kept that show protected from myself, so I'm really intrigued to see what it looks like, what, you know, which way they told the story in that show, because I've heard it's only 15, maybe 20 minutes, whereas I think the Beauty and the Beast show is a little bit longer, so the character development is better with that show. So I definitely want to see how they condensed the Little Mermaid story into 15 to 20 minutes. Honestly, I have faith because the Little Mermaid ride in Magic Kingdom, it's like, what, 5 or so minutes? But it literally was like watching the entire movie. you know, in that ride. So that was a really, really great attraction. It's my absolute favorite attraction besides Space Mountain. So, rambling, I would much rather go see Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Nighttime shows! We've got Happily Ever After in Magic Kingdom, Illuminations in Epcot. We have Fantasmic in Hollywood Studios, and Rivers of Light in Animal Kingdom. I wonder which one. I think I've already answered this in one of the videos that Jasmine and I did. It's our upcoming trip video that I'll link down below for you, in case you haven't seen it. Out of all 4 shows, Happily Ever After, not really too excited for Rivers of Light. It looks nice, but I don't think it's a fireworks show, but I don't know, it looks okay. I'll definitely watch it. I don't know, I haven't heard anything like spectacular about it. Fantasmic is a second choice of mine because, again, of the like Disney, of the nostalgia you get while you're watching it. And I'm a huge Sorcerer Mickey fan, so that's gonna be great. And then Illuminations is actually ending this year, I heard, the end of summer of 2019. Hopefully Jasmine and I will be there in time to catch one of the last viewings of Illuminations. Next up is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train versus Slinky Dog Dash. I chose to pin these 2 attractions together because they're both full of like color, and you know, they have incredible theming. You could kind of argue that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is like similar to Big Thunder, at least to me. It looks the same. Sometimes when I'm watching vlogs, I don't know which one is which, but then it starts to get into the actual mine, and then you know, with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I haven't even seen the mine yet. Like, I've seen a little bit. I unfortunately saw the 2 diamonds in Dopey's eyes. I want to keep that a surprise, but anyway, I personally would rather go on Slinky Dog Dash. And honestly, it's a tough decision for me. I'm a big Toy Story fan, so I feel like they get the advantage because of that. It just looks fun. However, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train holds a very special place in my heart because I've wanted to ride that ride ever since I heard that it came out, and we didn't get to ride it on my last trip, and I was completely bummed. It's literally like, you know what? It's a toss-up. It's a tie. I can't choose. I can't. Don't make me choose. I don't know. I don't think I could leave Walt Disney World without riding either one, so it's a toss-up. You are defeating Emperor Zurg. That's like the ultimate goal for a Toy Story fan. I need to ride that ride. Whereas Toy Story Mania, it's, I think, 5 3D shooting arcade games. So, like, I think I don't know. So there's something with pies, something with shooting, maybe arrows. I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention to it. The queue looks great. Mr. Potato Head is telling jokes, so that looks really fun. I would much rather go on Space Ranger Spin. We're winding down. It's almost done, I swear. Next is Barnstormer versus Prime Evil World. So I pinned these 2 together because they're kind of like kiddie rides a little bit. I mean, adults go on both, but I feel like these rides aren't priorities for adults because they're more on like the kiddier side. So Barnstormer is found in Magic Kingdom, and I think it's like a Goofy themed ride, so you're like riding on Goofy, I believe. And Primeval World is found in Dinoland in Animal Kingdom, and it's like a dinosaur themed ride. I don't know. So it's like you're traveling through time of the dinosaur age, and it's kind of, to me it looks like a zigzag coaster kind of thing. It looks different. I don't know. I would rather go on Primeval World. I don't sound enthusiastic about it, but it looks like it's different from the other coasters, so I would go on Primeval World. Next up is Kilimanjaro Safari versus the Jungle Cruise. Kilimanjaro Safari is in the African section of Animal Kingdom, whereas Jungle Cruise is in Magic Kingdom and Adventureland. I've been on Jungle Cruise. It's hilariously punny. It's really cool. I expected real animals. I didn't know there'd be animatronics there, so that was a little bit of a letdown, but it was still very enjoyable. But I'd much rather go on the actual real safari because I want to see the animals up close and personal. It's literally like an African safari, which is definitely on my general travel bucket list. It's a Small World is that classic, iconic ride with a very annoying song that you can't get out of your head for several days. In Fantasyland and Magic Kingdom, and the Three Caballeros ride is in the Mexican Pavilion, the World Showcase in Epcot. I haven't really seen this ride too much on the vlogs, and if I have, like, I would skip past it. I don't know why. I don't want to, like, know everything, you know? I feel like I would much rather go on that one. I don't know if the music is as annoying. I hope it would be less annoying than It's a Small World. That song, it's not the bane of my existence. It's very classic, and I will sing it. If I have to, I'll sing it. But it's very annoying. Winding down, I promise. Hollywood Tower of Terror versus Dinosaur. These are the two scariest rides in Disney World, and Dinosaur is in Animal Kingdom. Tower of Terror, what is wrong with me? Tower of Terror is in Hollywood Studios. So Tower of Terror is like a very creepy elevator drop ride. Yes! I mean, I feel like that's literally like people's like worst nightmare, but it's a simulation ride, so you're not really dropping. I would love to go on that. I mean, and the theming just looks crazy. Like, it definitely feels like you're actually going on a doomed ride, and they have like a gift shop filled with all of that memorabilia. Plus, the building itself looks amazing. Dinosaur looks really creepy. I haven't seen the clips in the vlogs because I am trying to keep it a secret, but I heard it's very scary. It's in the dark. You get to see large T-Rexes eat other animals or eat other dinosaurs. You're kind of like in an ATV, and you know, I don't know what the theme behind the ride is. I don't know, like, what the actual goal is in the ride, but it looks very terrifying. I would much rather go on Tower of Terror, though. Enchanted Tiki Room versus Mickey's PhilharMagic. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have great memories from watching PhilharMagic when I was 12. I've thought about it all my life, and then I saw it again for my 25th birthday, and it was even better than I remember. And then Tiki Room was a very pleasant surprise. This is, again, one of those rides that Walt himself came up with. I just feel like I'm being serenaded to. It's a relaxing attraction, definitely something to do to get out of the heat. Same thing with PhilharMagic. I don't know. I think just for nostalgia purposes, I'm going to go with PhilharMagic because you get to see all of the classic Disney movies. Donald Duck is ridiculous and just acting a fool throughout the entire thing. And it's 3D, which is fun, so PhilharMagic wins this one. The last one! Finally! Monsters, Inc. 4 versus Turtle Talk with Crush. So these are both interactive shows, right? Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor in Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom. It's like a comedy show, and they pick on actual people in the audience, so every show is different. Same thing with Turtle Talk with Crush. That is in Future World in Epcot, and you're like looking in the fish tank, and huge Crush comes out, and he's like, hey dudes, what's going on? And he talks to like the little kids. You know, it's geared more towards children, so the kids ask him several different questions, and he answers them differently. And so, like, each show is different there. I feel like that would be really funny. Crush is hilarious. But I'm more of a Monsters, Inc. fan, so I'm very biased. This is strictly bias-based. So I would much rather go to a Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor show. I am so out of breath, and I am so incredibly thirsty. I've just been talking for the last hour between this video and the last one. But you guys, that was it. That was my Would I Rather Tag Disney Attractions edition. What did you guys think? Do you agree with some of my answers? Do you disagree with some of my answers? Any of the other ones I should have pinned together? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Give this video a big thumbs up so I know that you like my videos. And don't forget to click subscribe for more Disney content coming your way. Click the bell notifications button so you don't miss a single Disney video. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I got some stuff to do around the house, okay? I can't keep sitting down and doing Disney videos for you guys unless you want me to. But seriously, I gotta go. Do I have to? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do enjoy sitting down and talking to you guys and sharing my thoughts and opinions with you on anything and all things Disney. It's really fun. It's like my favorite hobby, and then editing the videos, and I just love it. So, and I'm just so happy with my setup. I know, obviously, it could get better. It's going to get better. But this is what I love. I just have so much fun doing this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next one. Have an enchanting day. Bye!